What's up, everybody? It's Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com. And in this video today, I'm going to be talking about how to stabilize your home's financial situation. I saw a news report, I think it Wednesday, I saw a news report where it said that over, I think it was one third of people that were over 60 years old did not have anything saved for retirement. I'm talking about zero saved for retirement. And if you're young, or if you're uh, middle aged like me, or if you're older, you need to pay attention to this video because at some point in your life, it's going to flip to where you're not able to work as much and you're going to need income, and you don't want to really put a burden on other people. And really, will Social Security and all of that type of stuff that's out there, will it really be there the way that it is right now? And the way that it is here right now is not enough money for people. uh I was going to say I don't want to scare you, but I do want to scare you because this is the things that I use to motivate myself on a daily basis. It's not about scaring, it's about motivating you to do something for yourself now and also do something for yourself in the future. Most of you are thinking about repairing your credit, getting out of debt right now because you want to be able to live comfortably right now, but also in the back of your mind, you're thinking about when you're older, you don't want to be struggling. You might see a family member that struggles. You might have a parent that struggles or see other people that struggle. They're older, and you say you don't want to see yourself or find yourself in that same situation. Well, this is the stuff that you got to do right now, no matter where you're at, no matter how old you are, no matter how much money you got, no matter what situation you're in. This is the thing that what I'm going to talk about is like the number one thing that you got to do. And reason why I'm so confident in what I say, whenever I say something on this channel, I'm confident is because we do this on a day-to-day basis. But also, I've been through it. I've been through the times where money was tight. I've been where I was upside down and owed $300,000, and I was spending money left and right. It was a long time ago. We're talking about in the 90s, but I went through it, and it took me and my wife from 1994 all the way to 1999 to resolve our entire credit financial situation. So I've been through it, and it took me longer than what it would take you if you find yourself in that situation, because there was really not too many people that were talking about this. And a lot of the people that talked about getting out of debt, fixing credit, they never had those problems. It's easy for someone to tell you fix your credit, get out of debt, but if they don't know how you feel, they don't know what you went through, they don't know what you go through on a day-to-day basis when someone is coming to repossess your vehicle, when you can't make the payments on credit cards, when you can't uh, do stuff, and your parent needs to borrow some money and you make more money than you used to make and you can't even give them the money. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I went through in the 90s. That's what made me change. And that's why I make these videos, because I want you to change if you find yourself in a situation where you have bad credit, too much debt. You see that if you were to lose your job right now, you are in trouble. If you were to have an emergency, medical, financial, car breakdown, you are in trouble. You cannot live that way. You cannot live that way where you have where your mind is all over the place and you're afraid of anything happening. That is not living, that is living in fear, really. So in today's video, what I want to talk about, and I'm getting the information from a small manual that I wrote. This was so many years ago. Uh, back in 2006, I wrote this, and it seems like stuff is going full circle. Because I used to be more concentrated on helping people get out of debt. Because when I got myself out of debt, me and my wife got ourselves out of debt. We did not care about credit at that time, but that was because we just didn't know. We were just like, do the credit, do the debt, and then we get on the credit. But you can do them both at the same time, especially following my instruction, because I went through both ends of it, and I went through, and I understand that there were things that I could have done at the same time that would have fixed my credit at the same time that I was getting out of debt. So we're going to talk about one. I'm going to keep it very short and simple for the first part. Step number one in my publication that I wrote, and this is what my wife and I did. And step number one also has a step to it that is kind of unconventional when you look at other financial programs that are out there. Is step number one, you and your wife, or you and your spouse, you and your boyfriend, you and your girlfriend, you and your significant other that you are sharing bills with, household bills with, expenses, lifestyle, household lifestyle investments. That's what I call them. Because you're not spending when you pay your water bill, you're investing in your lifestyle. So you could have water. Um, you got to sign a contract with each other. You have to have an agreement with each other on what will be done and what won't be done. When my wife and I decided to get out of debt, we sat at our kitchen table Christmas of 1994, and we made an agreement that we would not spend money without each other knowing about it. Uh, I could get gas for my vehicle, but no big spending and no little spending in groups. Like you could get lunch, but I had even started carrying my lunch so I could save money to work. Um, I still owned my business. I was working for myself, but I had gotten over my head in debt. When you go from not making money and then 4 years later you're making a lot of money, you will spend more money if you're not careful. And that's what we ended up doing. So we made an agreement. You got to have an agreement with each other on how you're going to move forward. If you can't agree with each other, that bottom line agreement, that step number one agreement, nothing that you do moving forward will work because one of you will keep messing up everything else. So you got to sit down. You got to agree on how you're going to spend money. What can be money can be spent week to week. Are you going to start taking your lunch? Are you going to start not spending money on things that you spent money on, like going out to dinners, all of these things? But that gets further on what you're going to be doing, and that's going to be in another video. In this video, it's mostly about uh, getting that understanding between each other, because it is so important that you're both on the same page. If you're not on the same page, it's just not going to work. And then the other part of step number one is stabilizing your household situation. You cannot move forward if there's high anxiety in the house. This is what breaks up couples. This is what breaks up families. This is what gets kids to start acting up. All of that stuff, and this is things that we experienced when we were going through our financial hardship. Is that you got husband and wife arguing? We were arguing. The kids were watching us argue. It brings instability in the house. So you gotta get that. You gotta stabilize your household situation. And part of that is having agreements on having that agreement, because that agreement will stop arguments, because you can just say, here is what we agreed on. And if your spouse is not able to go off of something that you agreed on, then like I said, none of the other stuff is going to work. And up front, you're going to know that nothing is going to work because you have an individual that is not willing to work on the bottom first step, which is an agreement on how we're going to be able to move forward. So you stabilize your situation. You're going to have to look at everything that you're spending your money on. And the way that we did this is the easiest way that you could do it, is that you can uh, on your day to day, when you go to the store and you buy something, and they say you want the receipt, and you say, no, I don't want a receipt, or you throw away the receipt. What I want you to do is I want you to keep all of your receipts, everything that you spend money on. And as a matter of fact, a lot of people, reason why I do it this way with step one is because most people will make the agreement, but it's going to be hard to change the habit. You can make an agreement, but the habits will still be there. So, what I want you to do is just any spending that you do, go about your regular life, and any spending that you do, I want you to just keep the receipts. And then at the end of the week, you and your spouse or significant other pull out all of those receipts and you just look at what you spent money on. And then you look at what you have as your regular expenses to maintain the household. And then you're going to put that together and look at the amount of money that you have coming in and look at the amount of money that you're spending. Basically, your household expenses are going to be what you roughly do all the time. But that weekly spending is what really kind of kicks us over the edge where we're like, man, we're going shopping, we're spending money on all this stuff. But in a later video, I'm going to talk about budgeting and that stuff. I want to just talk about, let's lay the foundation, let's lay the groundwork and figure out where you're at, get that agreement between each other, or if you're single, get that agreement with yourself. So what texted me over here. Uh, Sorry about that interruption. But so got to get that agreement with each other. Like this is before you even move forward. I'm going to make this a video series, so pay attention. Make sure that you subscribe because I'm going to be going into each of the steps that I put together that my wife and I did, and I believe that these will help you be able to move forward and get out of debt and repair your credit at the same time. And I know I'm going to get some comments, and some people are going to say, well, what does this have to do? I want the quick fix. I want the McDonald's way of being able to get out of debt and repair my credit. I'm here to tell you that anything in life that's going to be worth it, it's going to take work. It's going to take some time. Yeah, you're going to get some quick wins. You're going to get some fast. Sorry about that. We had some computer, I don't know, video problems. Um, Seems like some of the times when I try to get some information to you that is going to be really, really, really hard hitting, I have video recording issues. So to review real quick before we end the video, you got to make that agreement between each other, or if you're single and you're responsible for everything that you're doing, then it should be a lot easier to make that agreement with yourself, because what it's going to do is this is going to lay the foundation for you to start changing the habits that you have with spending your money, with getting into credit problems, with the things that you're doing. But we're going to talk about that in a future video. I'm going to make this a series, how to get out of debt and repair your credit at the same time. So we're going to talk about that. So if you need help with your credit, please visit my website, thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video, What Makes Us Different. And if you could follow that process, it's my 8-point validation system process of repairing credit. And with that is a get out of debt portion. I never really, I talk about it on my website, but on I try to run through stuff quick and I don't even mention it. The way that we repair credit is we use an 8-point validation process or system and a two-phase settlement process. And that's how you repair your credit and get out of debt at the same time. I won't go into full detail here, but you can watch that video on how we do that. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website, your number 3scores.com. Everything starts with what's on your credit when it comes to starting to work on repairing your credit. And I appreciate if you use the monitoring service there. It also links in with the software that we use for maintaining customer customer information. If you find yourself having debt collectors coming after you, please use the documents that I give you. The links are below here. Cease and desist collection activities letter, statute of limitations of debt letter, and the debt validation letter. Those are all below here, free. You can use those to stop debt collectors. I want to thank you for your time. Please like this video. Please share it. Please post your comments. I'll be answering questions in the comments. Thank you for your time. This is Stephen A. Williams, President and Founder of thecreditrepairshop.com.